Praise be the Messiah, my little adepts, as it's your favorite arch-janitor coming back right at you. Today we'll be looking at the Vultarax Stratos Squadron in Warhammer Horus Heresy, the 3rd edition, as we return to this world after our little break in the 40k universe. And we're gonna be taking a look at one of my favorite units in the entire army that has re-released recently as a plastic model, which I'm very big fan of because it actually reminds me of the Half-Life 2 model of the I think they were called Observers. It's been a while since I played a game, but they always reminded me of that alien creature, of that alien pod that is shown predominantly in the Half-Life 2 episode 2, I think. I believe that was the last one they released. And I always got that weird alien vibe from it. We're gonna be looking at this unit's stat line. We're gonna be looking at its war gear, traits, and special rules that it might have. Also, it has come to my attention that Wikipedia actually has Horus Heresy stuff, which makes my life so much easier. Because as you can see, we can just hover the mouse over the weapon war gear, and we get all of the datasheet of the war gear. Furthermore, if you would like to check what the special rule does, we get another pop-up. This is fantastic. This will make my life so much easier. And eventually, a year since I released the previous videos about the units in 30k for Mechanicum, I will be redoing them at some point in the future. Well, I say some point, roughly around a year since the original release of every video that I did. I will be re-releasing it with my updated thoughts and opinions on the unit. And I think I will be using Wikipedia for all of the videos because it's very handy, it's very easy to use. Now, Horus Heresy doesn't necessarily have the same like data sheets that are in 40k, and those data sheets make it very easy to spectate the unit and discuss the unit and talk about the unit and everything around it for a YouTuber. Having this basically a data sheet on a website that has interactive like pop-ups is very handy, and I think this is the best way to look at a datasheet of a unit in Horus Heresy rather than me having a top-down mediocre quality camera looking at the actual book or making a PowerPoint presentation about the unit. I think this will be the way. This will be the way to do it. So, Vultarax Stratos Squadron, it's a singular model worth 100 points, or should I say costs 100 points. This is what it looks like. This is the official GW paint scheme. And it's a 60mm base, which is quite big. But what do you get for those 100 points, you might ask? Well, you get movement 12 model that has weapon skill ballistic skill of 3, that has strength of 5, toughness and wounds of 6. Its initiative is 4, it has 3 attacks, at leadership 7, tool 12, willpower 4, intelligence 4, 3 up save, and what's most important, 5 up invul. Why is 5 up invul important? Well, first of all, this model, as you can see, is quite big, quite tall, quite chunky. It's quite easy to spot, and as you have some absolutely massive terrain, this will be very easily spottable. And what follows, it'll be very easy to shoot at. 5-up invuls happen more often than you would think, and they are not maybe the most reliable way of saving, but you will get a 5-up invul save quite often to where it makes a difference, because this model, while it's very fast, 12 inches for a vehicle is quite a lot in 30k. Now mind you, everything that I'm talking about, I do not have the perspective of a marine player, of a legion player, because I do not play any of the legions. I only play Mechanicum. But movement 12, very quick. And as I have learned in my latest game, movement 12 for this unit makes the difference between it being a great unit and a terrible unit. Weapon skill, ballistic skill, 3-3 is not great, let's be honest. But this unit is not designed to cause damage. But we'll get to it. We'll get to this unit's role when we get to the war gear and abilities. Strength 5 is a nice thing to have, as I said. Anything above Strength 4 is a bonus for a Mechanicum unit. After 6 is alright. Now, don't expect it to be... that doesn't look too tanky, right? Because the weapons they'll be firing at it will be anti-tank weapons. So, most of the times they will be wounding this thing on 2s. That's why the 5-up invul save is important. It has 6 wounds, which is a nice thing to have, because a lot of the weapons do 1, maybe 2 damage. Now, of course, there are vehicles and dreadnoughts that have like 4 of those weapons, which means that your 5-up invul will prevent this thing from being one-shotted most of the time. Now, let's have a look at this war gear though. Arc Blaster, boom, magic, right? There's the datasheet of the weapon. Arc Blaster, 24-inch range, 6 shots, strength 6, AP 5, damage 1. This weapon is terrible at dealing with Marines because they are 3-up armor save, so they will get their save. What this weapon I feel like is designed to do is for its special abilities. It's designed to give out shock and suppressed. Suppressive is basically against your normal run-of-the-mill infantry or heavy infantry, and shock is specifically targeting vehicles. So this makes this unit quite flexible. It can deal with both. Now, it won't kill them, it will barely even damage them, but this unit is all about handing out statuses. Suppressive, again, goes on a regular unit. It forces a cool check, and the shock is on your vehicles, on any vehicle, and the walker. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Where are you going, mate? There we go. Suppressed. Any models with the vehicle type or walker type. So this will be good against your dreadnoughts, against your land raiders, against your Spartans, your rhinos, and so on. Now, the way the rules are written for 30k never ceases to amaze me, but basically this gives out suppressed status to a vehicle as long as you hit it. With a shock special rule, results in a 5 or a 6 before anybody died. Yeah, they gain the status of shock. And what is the shock or suppressed, you might ask? Well, let's find out. Suppressed. So if you manage to get that 5 or a 6, the controlling player of this unit makes all shooting attacks as snapshots. This is quite good, because as we have a look at the snapshots, it penalizes the unit quite heavily. So, while before, if a unit had a ballistic skill of 5 or even 6, with snapshots they'll be hitting you on 4s or 5s, which is not great. And let's be honest with you, most of the dreadnoughts they'll be hitting you, I believe they hit on like a ballistic skill of 4 or 5, maybe 6 at most, right? So this is quite important. Now, 24-inch range is not great, but remember you have 12 inch of movement, so basically this weapon's threat range is 36, which is quite respectable. Depending on the deployment you get, this thing is rapid and it's in range quite quickly. Now, the second weapon it has is a missile launcher, Vultarax missile launcher. Again, when you look at the stat line, it doesn't seem to be too good because AP 4 on the air boost. The AP 2 on the shaped charge is quite tasty. It's 2 shots at strength 10, damage 2 as well. This is not bad. And 36-inch range is quite... And remember, with the movement, 48-inch range, threat range. Not bad. But what this weapon does good is, again, handing out statuses. As you can see, the shaped charge has a shock stunned, which, as you might have noticed, is shock but not suppressed. This is different. So, what is stunned? If we go into the statuses again, I love this website. Now, the pop-ups could use a little bit of work, but because as you can see, I am quite having a difficult time getting into the status window, but there we go. Okay. It was stunned, I believe, right? Yes. The controlling player of a unit that includes models that are stunned may not declare any reactions. Reactions are a key part of this game, and having a unit that can basically say, no, you cannot use any reactions is quite big. Also, it has Phage T, which means any unit that is hit by this weapon has its toughness characteristic reduced by 1. So, ideally, you want this unit to be the first one that fires at the enemy unit, and then your army follows it. Because that unit reduces the toughness, meaning the rest of your army will have an easier time wounding it. Also issues a panic. Panic will give the unit a routed status, and one of the results of that is that the unit is doing all their shooting at snap shooting, which is, again, hasty and important. So, as we established, this unit, I feel like, has been designed to be a quick hitting unit that is handling out statuses like no tomorrow. Its melee weapon is Dendra Talons. It has Breaching 6 up, which is nice. Damage 2 is actually quite tasty, but remember, it only has 3 attacks and it's AP 4. So you would have to be counting on them 6s, which won't come up too often. But again, this unit is not designed to dish out damage. Let's talk about the special rules. Bulky 6, this unit is not going into any transport, mate. So I think you're safe with that. You're safe there. Explode 6 might come up once or twice, but nothing crazy, right? Now, the next 3 rules are complementing each other. So, we have Implacable Advance. This allows your ranged weapons to fire your non-assault weapons as volley attacks, as long as they don't have heavy or ordnance. And as you may notice, neither the Arc Blaster nor the Missile Launcher has those 2 rules, which means you can fire both of them as a volley attack. Now, but you might ask, but you can only fire 1 weapon, right? Well, yes, but firing Protocols 2 allows you to fire both weapons. So the way I see it is, correct me if I'm wrong, but the way I see it is, I believe you can make volley attack shots with both of the weapons because of the firing protocol. Now, volley attacks are snapshots, right? Well, not with Firestorm. Firestorm allows you to make the volley attacks as normal attacks. So you ignore the snapshot penalty, you can fire both weapons, and you can actually fire the 2 weapons you have because of the Implacable Advance. Not terrible. Not terrible. I have seen worse rules in my life, and these 3 nicely complement one another. And again, I believe you can fire both of them at the same time because of the firing protocols. Because I don't see any restriction, I don't see any restriction on this rule saying that you cannot be used in volley attacks, right? So please do correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that's the case. Now, it also has anti-grav, which helps it with movement. You can just go over the terrain, which makes this unit very speedy. Now, again, I do not have the background with Space Marines, so I do not know if this unit is expensive or not, comparing to like the Space Marines units and what they can field. But for 100 points, you get a relatively tough unit with an invul save of 5 up that is rapid, that has weapons that can nerf or severely tie up the enemy units, that forces statuses checks on the enemy units. And I feel like this unit has been designed to basically be all in YOLO, go for it, see what happens unit, right? You want this unit to go in quick, to get its shots off, to get its volley attacks off, and then charge. And then hopefully tie up a key unit of the enemy that would have a very hard time smacking this unit back. So, for example, you might want to charge this unit, firing first and then charging, into, let's say, your basic, what are they called in 30? I think they're called tacticals as well in 30k, right? Or legionaries, whatever. Let's have a quick look. Where are they? So I'm not very good with Marines. It will take me too much time to find. They have so many units, man. Oh my lord. Oh my god. I'm probably missing somewhere. But basically, you will want to charge your Vultarax into the enemy. Let's call them Tactical Marines or Legionaries, whatever they're called in 30k. Because this unit will most likely kill a lot of them in the shooting and then might get lucky in melee. Or you might just not do no damage. But guess what? You're handing out statuses. You can charge this unit very quickly and easily into enemy dreadnoughts or enemy Spartans. And as far as we know, there is no option of falling back from combat. So your 100 points of a Vultarax Stratos Squadron unit can charge in a Spartan and tie it up for the entire game. Because the Spartan, let's be honest, unless it gets very lucky, it most likely won't kill this. Or if it will, then it will take the Spartan at least like 2 turns. In a 4-turn game, that's half the game. It's stuck there. I remember Spartans have cargo with them usually, right? So unless that cargo disembarks and tries to free up the Spartan, well then guess what? The rest of your army is there to protect your Vultarax from the disembarking unit. I think this is a very key unit to us, Mechanicum players. I think it has a place in nearly every army, in nearly every battlefield, because you can get very creative with it. And it's actually quite flexible. You can have it flank the opponent and be a harasser. You can YOLO charge it forward into the enemy vehicles. You can engage the key enemy units in the midboard. You can have it maybe protect your backline against the enemy deep strikers and tie them up for the entire game. You know, I would avoid heavy hitting melee bricks like, let's say, Terminators. But anything other than that, it's free game. It's free real estate, honestly. I would seriously give this unit a look if you haven't before and give them a try. And if you don't have it yet, I would seriously consider picking it up. Now, mind you, do not buy this from official GW. Buy it from your local gaming store. Support your local gaming stores, because remember, all the models they have in their store, all your local gaming stores, all the mods they have already been paid for by the store, and any model that you buy there, the profits go to your store, right? GW already got their money, and basically the store is stuck now with whatever they bought. So do not feel too bad when you go into your local gaming store and you buy some models and you think that, oh, I'm giving money to GW. Technically yes, but also no, because all of them have been already, all the models have been prepaid for, right, by the store. So remember, support your local gaming stores. Go out there. If you don't have this unit, I would highly recommend you pick this up. This has been your favorite Arch Janitor of Mars. I'm signing off. Praise be the Messiah.